Amatolia Megavanen and welcome to Quenta Ambar. What are orcs? Well, they are monstrous creatures bred by the Dark Lord Morgoth from elves that went astray along the eastern shores of the Sea of Helkar. Probably. We'll get onto that a bit later on. But if you ask someone what are all the different types of orcs that were present in Middle-earth during the War of the Ring, they will most likely say normal orcs, goblins that live in caves and in Moria, and Uruk-hai, which are like super orcs made by Saruman. Some of the more hardcore movie fans might even say Uruks from Mordor. That's all correct though, right? Nope. As said in the preface of The Hobbit, orc is not an English word. It occurs in one or two places, but is usually translated goblin or hobgoblin for the larger kinds. Basically what that means is that goblins and orcs are one and the same. So in The Hobbit, Tolkien uses the word goblin to make it easier for children, and in The Lord of the Rings, he uses the word orc. Okay, you might be saying, but what on earth is a hobgoblin? Is it some kind of orc that we have never heard of before, apart from in that passage? To put it simply, no. Hobgoblins are just Uruks. Well, what are Uruks, I hear you cry? Well, Uruks are pretty much Super Orcs 1.0, first bred by Sauron. It means orc in black speech. You can say Uruks and Uruk-hai are pretty much the same, only Uruk-hai is mostly used to refer to only those bred by Saruman. There's also Black Uruks, which are far rarer and more powerful type of orc that are basically like Super Orcs 2.0. Okay, so there's orcs which are goblins, and Uruks which are hobgoblins, and Uruk-hai, and then there's also Black Uruks. Correct, but there are some more types. There's also Snaga, which are practically orc slaves, and lastly there are Morannon orcs, which only come from Mordor. They're about the same height as a human, or an Uruk-hai. I call them Mordor Uruks because that's basically what they are, and all of these can be collectively called orcs. And now we get on to the orc origin theories. Oh boy. According to the Silmarillion, orcs were created by Morgoth by corrupting captured elves. But Treebeard later said that orcs were Morgoth's attempt at mimicking elves. But we have to remember that Treebeard isn't an all-knowing tree, so he's probably wrong. Carrying on with Treebeard's idea though, they could have been originally made from stone, much like trolls. Orcs could have also been soulless animals that copy language from men and elves, or they could have been a mixture of evil or corrupted elves and men. But what is the real answer? Well, to put it bluntly, there isn't one. Tolkien never decided, so you can believe whichever one you want to. So that's orcs. Hopefully I made them simple and more confusing, and then simple again. Oh yeah, and there are female orcs too. Stop saying there aren't.